Life today moves fast, too fast. We rent instead of own. We switch jobs, cities, even entire careers without a second thought. We replace rather than repair. And at first glance, that sounds like freedom, an exciting, flexible life. But have you ever stopped and wondered, why does everything feel so temporary? Why does it feel like nothing really belongs to us anymore? Like our lives are happening around us, but never with us? The answer isn't just personal, it's systematic. And it starts with how the economy has reshaped our sense of home, work, time, and even identity itself. Let's start with where we live. For most of human history, home was a generational thing. People lived in the same house for decades, even centuries. Entire families built communities around that stability. Now, most of us are renters, not owners. In the US, home ownership for young adults is at a historic low. Wages haven't kept up with housing prices, and for many, buying a home feels like an impossible dream. The cost of a down payment alone is more than most people's entire yearly salary, so we rent. And when rent spikes, when our landlord decides to sell, when our job moves across the country, we pack up and move, again and again. If you've ever moved cities for a job, you know this feeling. Your neighbors aren't really your neighbors, they're just people passing through. Your coffee shop isn't your coffee shop, it's just the closest one. The city doesn't feel like your city, it's just where you live, for now. This constant movement makes it nearly impossible to build a lasting community, and when everything is temporary, why invest in it? We were never meant to live like tourists in our own lives. Think about the things you own, your phone, your clothes, your furniture. How many of them do you expect to keep more than 5 years? Probably none, and that's not an accident. It's called planned obsolescence, the intentional design of products that break faster, so we're forced to replace them. Clothes rip, buy new ones. Shoes wear out, toss them. Laptop slows down after 3 years, just get a new one. It's not just small things, even washing machines and refrigerators used to last decades. Now, they break within 5 to 10 years. And because repairing them often costs more than replacing them, we just don't. But here's the thing, fixing things connects us to them. Your grandparents had one pair of leather boots for 30 years because they took care of them. Farmers knew their tools inside and out because they had to. Even something small as cooking your own food makes you feel part of what sustains you. Now, we're just consumers. We don't maintain, we replace, and that means we're less connected to everything around us. Jobs used to be part of our identity. People worked in one place for decades, and there was mutual loyalty between employers and workers. Now, we're all disposable. The average job tenure in the US is about 4 years. For younger workers, it's even shorter. Gig work, contract jobs, and constant layoffs mean you can't count on stability. And when you can't build a future in your career, something happens to you psychologically. You don't put down roots. You don't get attached. Work just becomes survival, not something meaningful. And when work isn't meaningful, life itself starts to blur. And here's where it gets really weird. Even time itself has lost meaning. Do you know what's in season right now? When's the best time to plant tomatoes? When does the first frost come? Why would you know this? You probably don't. Why would you? Food is always available. Water comes from a tap. The lights are always on. That's not necessarily bad, but it does mean we've lost touch with the cycles of nature. For most of human history, our lives were shaped by the land. Seasons dictated what we ate, the weather shaped our daily routines. Now, we don't notice, we're out of sync, and that disconnect makes everything feel surreal. And it's not just physical, it's cultural. We are so afraid of standing out that we flatten ourselves into sameness. We fear opinions, we fear saying the wrong thing, and in doing so, we lose our ability to truly connect. We used to be a melting pot of cultures. Now we've melted into none. Instead of being proud of our unique identities, we trade them in for whatever is least offensive. We try so hard to relate to everyone that we relate to no one. We fear discomfort, so we avoid meaningful discussions, and in doing so, we isolate ourselves. So what do we do about it? I'm not saying we all need to go live in the woods or throw away our phones, but we can start reclaiming a sense of belonging. Stay in one place longer if you can. Build relationships with your neighbors. Treat your city like it's yours, even if you rent. Fix things instead of replacing them. Learn a small skill, patch a hole in your clothes, change a bike tire. Grow something, even if it's just one plant on your windowsill. Pay attention to how it grows. Create instead of consume. Cook more, build something, right, even if it's small. Belonging isn't just about where you live, it's about how you live. The economy might push us to be contemporary, disposable, replaceable, but we don't have to accept that. So what's one thing you can do to make you feel grounded? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear from you. Thank you.